Good evening, everybody. Atma Vandan. Om Shri Paramatmane Namaha. Om Shri Paramatmane Namaha. Om Shri Paramatmane Namaha. Om Shri Guru Pyo Namaha. Good evening, everybody. A very warm welcome to you all. Thank you so much for joining the session today. So today we're on chapter 17, Fly High in the Sky. What a wonderful title. It's page 166, and we're going to do the chapter first, and then we'll be followed by a short meditation and some time to reflect the key learnings from this amazing chapter. Okay, here goes. In the entire series of discourses, I have chosen to talk on Buddha, his life, the precepts given by him, his disciples, and people who came in contact with him. Furthermore, I have named this new assembly hall of ashram as Sambuddha Sabhagar. Sambuddha refers to the enlightened one. The enlightened one does not bear allegiance to any one religion, any one sect, or any one community. He or she is free of all bondage. That is why I've dedicated this entire place to all those exalted men and women hailing from all parts of the world, those who have attained self-realization, the supreme awareness, the supreme truth. Sambuddha doesn't refer only to Buddha, but to all those enlightened ones, like Kabir, Ravidas, Mira, Dodudayal, Namdev, to name a few, irrespective of whether they hail from this country or any other part of the world, and irrespective of their religious background. For the enlightened one is way, way above all religions. The entrance to this hall depicts excerpts from the life of Buddha. One gives you a glimpse of Buddha's interaction with his disciples, where Buddha is sitting with Moggallon and Ananda, meditative and at ease. The reason for depicting this at the entrance is that when you see it, it evokes a feeling in you that I too want to become a Moggallon, a Sariputra. I too want to become a disciple like they were, for it is only that kind of disciplehood which will lead me to the heights of supreme wisdom. Do you know, when I hold open satsangs, on an average, 70 to 80,000 people attend, and in some cities the gathering exceeds 100,000. Now, does this mean that in this era of Kali Yuga there are thousands and lakhs of people who are seekers of truth? No, that is not true. In fact, it would be foolish to make that interpretation. But people are coming, their curiosity is getting aroused, and they seem to be eager to listen. Yes, people do seem to be interested, albeit the curiosity is being aroused by the medium of television channels. But nothing wrong in that. However, I don't think this crowd is ready for me to talk to them on profound subjects, which I do in shivers like this. For example, there are all sorts of advertisements in newspapers, from tobacco, cigarettes, alcohol, to financial companies, cars, alternative medicine, laser eye treatment, soap, hair oil, so on and so forth. All kinds of advertisements indeed. You read all the advertisements, but you don't go out and buy all the displayed products, do you? What do you think? You see an advert for tobacco. So, does it mean that on seeing the advert you would go out to buy and eat tobacco? The one who is already habituated to eating tobacco, only such a person will get the desire to eat tobacco on seeing the advert. Sometimes some of these tobacco eaters come to the ashram too. Some time ago there was a festive celebration in the ashram, and hordes of people had come to stay. Word reached me that some people had defaced the rooms by spitting chewed tobacco and betel leaves on the walls. What a way to leave their mark behind. Do you know, when Sita was being abducted by Ravan, she dropped her jewellery on the way so that Sri Ram would notice them and use the trail to find Sita. Maybe these people who are having the trail of tobacco, cigarette butts and betel leaves are also trying to say that may someone have mercy on them and manage to convince them to give up these bad habits, as it is injurious to their health and serves no purpose other than filling the coffers of the advertising companies. I know one person who is a distributor of tobacco and cigarettes. He says that although on an individual personal basis he dissuades people from the intake of tobacco, he nevertheless continues with his job, as it is family business. Buddha had said that one should not be involved in any such profession or business that leads to suffering or downfall of others. A liquor baron cannot shrug off his responsibility by saying that it is up to people to buy alcohol. It is their free will. For he is not forcing them, because albeit indirectly, he is contributing to the suffering of the family members caused by the drunken behaviour of the alcoholic. You cannot say that you have merely opened a shop. You are not forcing anyone to buy stuff from your shop. This is not an acceptable excuse. The fact that you've opened the shop means that at some level you are responsible for invoking the desire in people to buy alcohol, tobacco, or any other illicit product. I know few people who are in the business of vending alcohol, but who themselves are teetotalers. I asked them why they were involved in such a business when they themselves abstained from alcohol. They said if they didn't do it, someone else would. Buddha had said that the way you earn a living has a definite effect on your mind and intellect. Make an honest living. Someone said it is very difficult to have an honest livelihood in India. But I say, why can't you make a sincere effort to do so? Anyway, reverting back to the subject of advertisements in newspapers, despite the fact there are so many advertisements in the papers, you buy only those products which you need. If you don't eat tobacco, if you don't drink alcohol, why would you find out their cost? Why would you want to visit the shops that sell them? A gentleman was relating an incident that happened to him. He was returning from work, having taken a lift in his friend's car. The friend told him that he had some work and made a short halt at a place. This chap had no choice but to go along with his friend, who stopped near a liquor shop. His friend was buying liquor and this chap was uncomfortably standing by. It so happened that his father-in-law was passing by and saw him in the liquor shop, and he immediately called up his daughter, saying that his son-in-law had become wayward and had started drinking alcohol. You can imagine the scene that his wife would have created when he returned home. Why go to such shops when you don't intend to buy the products being sold there? And even if you go as innocent bystanders, be prepared to undergo the consequence as endured by the chap mentioned above. And if the person can be recognized as one who once attends satsangs, well, then the comments are even more acerbic. Oh, what a crafty little devil! Goes to satsangs and drinks liquor on the sly. What hypocrisy! It is said that believe only that which you see with your own eyes. But sometimes even that can be misleading. I would relate my own experience. When I travel by air, I have observed that as the liquor being served is free of charge, those who don't drink otherwise, they too go on a drinking spree, simply because it is free. And if you are a business class traveller, then the free drinking spree starts right at the airport. Once when I was travelling to Singapore, the stewardess asked me if I would like to drink anything. I said I needed a glass of water, and later, perhaps, a glass of orange juice. She was surprised and said, "There is such expensive champagne on the tray, and you are asking for orange juice?" I said that I don't drink any alcohol. It wasn't as if I was upset with anything. See, the monks and sages hailing from that part of the world, especially Orient, they are mostly bald. Even the female monks are generally bald, and moreover, they wear similar types of clothes. So how could I explain to the stewardess that I too was a monk? I asked her if she would serve alcohol to a Buddhist monk. She replied, "Absolutely not." I said that in your language, I too am a monk. On hearing that, she became apologetic and went away. What I'm trying to say is that the way she left the tray full of champagne and other liquors on my table, someone who saw that could easily say that Guruma was drinking champagne in the flight. Not everything that is seen by the eyes is true. But as far as possible, we should be very careful of our behaviour. In this context, I would like to add that I don't take a punitive attitude towards my disciples regarding any mistakes they commit. This is because I believe that it is human to make errors, but one should not commit the same mistake twice. One should learn from the mistakes and ensure that one doesn't commit them again. Use your power of discrimination to avoid repeating the mistakes. But if someone keeps repeating the same mistake, then that person doesn't deserve to be pardoned. This is because he doesn't feel he has erred. Then why will he ask for forgiveness? For someone to get forgiveness, he should first acknowledge that he has committed a mistake, that he has erred. This reminds me of an anecdote. The story goes that after death, a queue was being formed to decide the fate of the souls, i.e. whether they will go to heaven or hell. The first person in the queue was asked whether he had been married, and his reply was that he had been married once. He was sent to heaven. To the same question, the second person replied that he had been married twice. He was sent to hell. He protested, saying that why was the earlier person sent to heaven when he had been married only once? The biting reply was, that chap made one mistake and suffered for that one error. But you, fool, you've committed the same blunder twice. The blunder which happens only in an error, and it is forgivable when the person committing it has insight, genuinely accepts his failing and learns a lesson. But repetitive lapses and omissions are akin to sin that occurs by consistently being unaware. Understand the difference between an error and a sin. That which is committed once and the person accepts he has erred and takes precautions not to repeat, then this becomes a mistake, and this can be forgiven. On the other hand, when one keeps on repeating the same mistakes, is completely unaware of his erring, then that becomes a sin. You err and ask for forgiveness, but after a few days, again repeat the same mistake and seek forgiveness, so on and so forth. That is a sin, being committed in a state of unawareness. Don't beat yourself for a mistake that you commit, but learn from it and ensure that you don't repeat it again. A listener related, once I'd been to Mumbai on a business trip with my friend. After we concluded our business, my friend got busy making plans to visit a red light area. He asked me to accompany him, and without thinking, I went along. When we reached there, my friend went away with a prostitute and asked me to wait for him till he returned. I then realized that inadvertently I had made an error of judgment. I felt so uncomfortable in that situation. I hailed a taxi and returned to my hotel straight away. You have to be very careful about what you do, where you go, who your companions are, and make informed decisions and choices in all aspects of your lives. I will now move on to Buddha's next precept. Adham bhuto apam loko tanuketa vipasyati sakunto jala mukto va apo sanghai gachati. Buddha says that the entire world has become blind. It is exceptionally rare to find someone who can see. The one who is free from all trappings of body identification, he alone goes to heaven. There is a charming story in the context of this precept. At one time, Buddha was living in solitude in the forest, along with a few disciples. The entire day they would sit in solitude, and in the evening, Buddha would give discourses for the local villagers. Once a blacksmith's daughter came to see him. She prostrated before him with such devotion and love that Buddha immediately sensed her deep sincerity. Let me tell you that faith and respect towards the master can easily be recognized by the person's behavior and attitude, i.e., how he sits near the master, how he speaks, and his body language. All of these reflect the person's regard for the master, and the master can readily sense this. There is no need for words to express one's love, is there? See, if a husband has to keep on saying to his wife that he loves her, know that there is no love between them. If there is true love, what is the need to verbalize this? Likewise, in context with the master, it is not what you say, but how you say that matters. How you sit by the master, how you behave, all this communicates to the master of your real sentiments. If the master is enlightened, he will immediately see through your facade. Your body language will tell him everything there is to know. The master has the eyes that see through, the heart that feels. The master has the sentiments to perceive. Jalaluddin Rumi said, I remember God only after he remembers me. If a devotee is connected to the Lord in this way, then isn't a master connected with his disciple in the same way? When the disciple remembers the master, won't the master reply in some way or the other? Won't he reply to the message of love sent by the disciple? The problem is that we don't know how to connect, for if we did, then the physical distance wouldn't mean anything. The one who has kept in his heart the flame of wisdom lit by the master, there is no way such a person can stumble in the light of that flame. Reverting back to the story of Buddha, he asked the blacksmith's daughter, Where have you come from? She replied, I know, but I don't know. Buddha further inquired, Where will you go once you take my leave? The girl replied, I know, but I don't know. Listening to this seemingly paradoxical reply, all the villagers got angry, as this was no way to speak to Buddha. They started muttering, Why doesn't she simply say that she is the blacksmith's daughter and will be returning home? Buddha asked them to be quiet. Buddha had obviously understood what the girl meant, but for the benefit of the gathered villagers, he asked her to explain her answers. The girl replied, As of now, I have come from my father's home. Hence I first said, I know. But no sooner had I said this, I realized that someone of your caliber won't waste his time by asking such a mundane question. See, many a time people who come to the ashram complain that Guru Ma didn't even talk with us. I often think, what should I talk about? If you have any questions, I answer them. But otherwise, what is the problem in just sitting quietly? What is the need for frivolous chit-chatting? But then sometimes I do relent and indulge in asking questions like, Where have you come from? What is your name? And this makes them happy that Guru Ma is talking to us. So when Buddha asked, Where have you come from? The girl replied, Although I was coming from my father's home, I thought that you wouldn't waste your time in such frivolous talk. Thence I thought there must be some deeper meaning, and I interpreted the hidden question to mean where I was in my previous lifetime. Hence I quickly corrected the answer to, I don't know. The second question you asked was where I would be going. The practical answer was that I would be returning to my father's house. So the reply, I know, but yet again I realized that you wouldn't ask this futile question. So I surmised that you meant, where would I go after this lifetime ends? Whether I had taken any efforts to get freed of all bondages, or did I just plan to return back to this samsara? As I didn't know the answer to this deeper question, I changed my answer to, I don't know. Hence, O Buddha, I gave 2 answers for each question. Please do forgive me if I have erred. It was after this incident that Buddha gave the precept that everyone in this world is blind. There were so many people listening to the conversation between Buddha and the blacksmith's daughter, but none could fathom in the hidden, inherent deep meaning. On the contrary, the girl's reply had irritated and angered them. Hence Buddha said that people are blind. They can't see. They can't understand. The one who hasn't understood his own life, who is unaware of his own existence, how will he understand others? How will he know others? For one needs intellect to comprehend and grasp the meaning of Buddha's words. Buddha continued that only an exceptional person has that sight, the vision, and only he can escape from the net, from the cage, and soar like a free bird. The state you are in now, right now, you are caught up in the cage, in the net of dark ignorance, and on top of that you are blind. Imagine a bird trapped in a net, and moreover it is blind. How will it get freed? The state of the human mind is similar. People are trapped in the net created by none other than themselves. Mesh of desires, attachment, aversion, ego, and moreover, they are blind. How will one get freed from this self-created web? And only the exceptionally rare one who cuts off the net, who gets freed from all trappings of body identification, he alone achieves liberation. He alone reaches heaven. Buddha says the one who gets liberated from this self-created web of bondage goes to heaven. Now, heaven and hell don't refer to any external place, but rather to the state of your own mind. Wherever Buddha has used the word heaven, it refers to the state of self-realization. It refers to liberation from bondage of samsara. But as the discourses are addressed to the masses, to the common man, sometimes the usage of commonly known words become unavoidable. For example, someone goes to see a movie and enjoys it very much. If you ask that person how the movie was, he will say, "What a wonderful film! It was heavenly, thoroughly enjoyable." And on the contrary, if he hated the film, he will say, "What a lousy film! Sheer waste of time. Watching that film was nothing but a punishment. It felt like being in hell." So we commonly use the words heaven and hell to express our feelings, wonderful or rotten, respectively. Buddha said heaven is that which liberates one from bondage. He is referring to the inner state of the mind. The one who has attained the lamp of wisdom, whose mind is in a service of the divine, to be in such a state is to be in heaven. And the fact is that a seeker who has experienced truth, who contemplates on the truth, even if such a person has to go to hell for some reason, then because of his mere presence, hell will get transformed into heaven. There is a charming metaphorical story relating to King Janak, who had a remarkable persona. After all, he was a Jnani, father of Sita, father-in-law of Sri Ram, disciple of Ashtavakra, Guru of Sukdev. The story goes that after death he had to go across the gates of hell as a result of a small misdeed he had committed when alive. It is said that as soon as his footsteps reached the gates of hell, all the screaming and yelling in agony coming from the hell stopped. Instead, this got replaced by sighs of peace and bliss. The residents in hell wanted to know who had passed by their gates, which had changed their pain and suffering to bliss and peace. As soon as King Junaga got to know the effect he had made on the hell residents, he asked to be left in hell. He said that if hit by his mere presence the suffering of the inmates had got alleviated, he didn't mind staying there for good. However, the messengers of death said that they couldn't leave the king in hell, because if that happened, hell would become heaven, and that would disrupt their whole process of sorting people into hell and heaven. The one who has the wealth of wisdom, meditativeness, and inner awareness, even if there is a hell somewhere and he happens to even pass through it, it will get transformed to heaven. Such should be one's contemplation on knowledge that the mind becomes a servant of the ultimate truth. And this truth is right within you. So connect with this inner truth. Why leave the nectar of this inner truth and run after the garbage and filth of the external world? The one who contemplates on the false rather than the truth, this is like someone is discarding nectar and drinking poison instead. This is the sheer foolishness, isn't it? There are many people who listen to words of wisdom, who meditate, but yet their minds are still in bondage. What is the use of that knowledge then? Until and unless the mind is not freed from all burdens, all negativities and attachment, no matter how much listening and contemplation you do, it will be of no use. If, despite listening to words of knowledge, despite meditating, the mind is still in bondage, then it means that you are still sipping poison. Hence, be vigilant of your thoughts. What does your mind think about? Does it contemplate on the divine or the world? See, you can be at peace only when you forgive those who have harmed you and not get attached to those who cherish you. You will say that both are difficult tasks. How can I forgive someone who hurts me when the mere mention of his name makes my blood boil? Ask yourself, is there any such person in your life that enrages you to no end? And if there is someone, then no matter how much you meditate or how many satsangs you attend, it will all be futile. If you insist on holding on to all thorns tightly, what can poor Guruma do for you then? You keep on hurting your own mind by repeatedly piercing thorns of malice and hatred into it. How will the wretched mind get any rest or peace, any peace? Whosoever has hurt you, harmed you, until and unless you don't forgive them from the bottom of your heart, remember that until then, your mind will not be at peace. Moreover, it is likely that the person who made you feel hurt would have forgotten what he did to you, but you still keep on remembering it. Kabir has said, if you enter a jungle full of bamboo trees, the bamboo will lacerate your skin. My dear, why enter the thick set of bamboos in the first place? If you enter a bed of thorns, will you get pierced by thorns or flowers? Don't bear any grudge against anyone. Don't be burdened by having dislikes and aversions. It will harm you only. If you enter a bed of thorns, but naturally it is only you who gets hurt, why blame the thorns? Likewise, there are some individuals whose inherent nature is like a thorn. Simply keep away from them, but also bear in mind that you don't become a thorn to anyone else. The problem is that no one wants to accept that they are capable of hurting or harming others. I say that even if someone has hurt you, Don't keep raking the old wounds, as this will lead to a non-healing ulcer, which keeps on generating pain. Let bygones be bygones. And the best part is, when you forgive someone, it is you who experiences the pleasure, even if the person you have forgiven doesn't. Until and unless you don't forgive, you will keep on hurting yourself. See, when a child gets hurt, the mother applies some medicine on the wound. After a few days, a scab grows on the wound, and as the new skin contracts, the wound starts to itch. The child scratches the wound as that feels good, but the scratching reopens the wound and it bleeds again. The mother reapplies medicine and asks the child not to scratch it, but the child doesn't heed his mother's advice and keeps on scratching. As a consequence, the wound gets infected and persists as a non-healing ulcer. Likewise, although someone else has wounded you, but by constant feeling of grievance or vengeance, you keep on scratching the mental wound, and hence it never heals. Instead, if you don't touch the wound and leave it alone, in due course of time, it will heal on its own. What I'm asking you to do is difficult, but if you succeed in doing so, rest assured, it will make you happy. Forgive with full honesty in your heart, and this forgiveness will give you joy, even if it doesn't make any difference to the person you forgive. So, no matter how hot it is outside, when you are indoors sitting in an air-conditioned room, the outside heat doesn't bother you. Likewise, keep your mind cool by forgiving others, even if the other is burning in the fire of negativity. Pray to God that the other person gets some sense and let go of these negativities. You have blinded yourself with hatred, aversion, and craving, and until and unless you don't cut these off, you'll remain in the darkness of bondage. See, the bondage is of your own making. Hence, it goes without saying that the key to your freedom lies with none other than yourself. But your current state of mind is such that you misguidedly believe that until others stop inflicting pain on you, you can't be happy. You keep on blaming others. So the husband says, "How can anyone be happy when he has a wife like this?" The son says, "How can anyone be happy if he has a father like this?" So on and so forth. All in all, you are looking for excuses for your unhappiness. You don't look for the cause of your unhappiness inside. Instead, you are always looking for excuses outside. But remember that until and unless you don't uproot this malice right from its roots, no matter how much wisdom you listen to, no matter how much you meditate, yet the mind remains in bondage. Hence, be aware of your own mind. Mind your mind. But how does one do this? Kabir has said that when he went out looking for inadequacies, he found that there was none as inadequate, as bad, as full of shortcomings as him. Others are not bad, and I am not good. If you believe this, then you will never be arrogant of your own virtues, and by believing that others are not bad, you will not have any aversion towards them. In this way, you will ward off both aversion and cravings. Buddha says, as long as the thorns of aversion and cravings are piercing your mind, you are blind and will remain blind. If you want to emerge out of this blindness, you need to light the lamp of wisdom, for it is the light which will impart peace to your restless mind. Those are indeed rarest of rare who get the sight of wisdom and have emptied their mind of all aversion and craving. All others are blind, and imparting wisdom to such blind people is akin to giving spectacles to the blind. If a blind person wears spectacles, will that help him? If his visual apparatus is damaged, how will the spectacle help him? How can one emerge out of this blindness? by being in the company of the one who has the sight of wisdom. You get motivated by listening to the words of wisdom from such a wise one. You get inspired to look for ways which will enable you to emerge out of the blindness and become worthy of being in an exalted company of the enlightened master, who has the sight of wisdom. Understand and know the weaknesses of your own mind. Only then you can take measures to rectify them. Don't get embroiled in playing the blame game. Your unhappiness, your mental unrest can be no one's fault. It is up to you to change your attitude. Change yourself so that you can overcome the self-created blindness, and with the newfound sight, cut the mesh of the net, the cage, and soar high, free like a bird. This meditation camp is a step in that direction. For the next 4 to 5 days, there are no distractions as you have left your family, your business behind. Hence, make the most of your stay in the ashram. And the point of attending a shivir is to first get acquainted with the malice present in your own mind. And once you have got well versed with that, then you follow the ways to get rid of those maladies. That is why you need to be silent for as much time as possible. There will be 2 sittings of discourses and meditation, morning and evening. You need to observe silence in between the sessions. So thank you, Babaji, Lord Buddha, and Guru Ma for this amazing chapter. Okay, so we'll go on to the short meditation now. Kindly sit in a meditative position. Remove any glasses. Sit with your feet crossed and clasp your fingers into flingers and gently take 3 deep breaths and feel your stomach expand. And as you focus on your breaths, incoming and outgoing, feel totally at ease. Focus on your feet, your toes, top of your foot, the sole of your foot. Feel them totally relaxed. Your shins, calves, calf muscles, knees, thighs, lower hips, totally at ease. All your internal organs, totally relaxed, working in total sync. Your pancreas, kidneys, stomach, heart, lung, intestines, everything is working like clockwork and working its magic to keep you alive. Focus on your shoulders, lower them. Feel them totally loose and relaxed. Upper arm, lower arm, fingers, all at ease. Your neck, shoulders, ears, facial muscles, head, all totally at ease and relaxed. And as we focus on our breaths, incoming and outgoing, visualize yourself as being a big mountain. Big mountain on a beautiful spot in India. Anywhere in India where you feel at home, feel yourself as a strong, big mountain. And as you stand tall as a mountain, your legs and your hip area are the bottom of the mountain, and then the top half of you, your stomach, neck, is the upper half of the mountain. Your arms are the side of the mountain, and your head is the top of the mountain, tip of the mountain. Just feel totally grounded, totally at ease. Feel strong, feel connected with Mother Nature, Mother Earth, through your foundation, and feel one with the sky, with your high top. And as you stand tall as a mountain, see how beautiful and strong you are. And as the raindrops fall on you, feel yourself being cleansed. Feel the raindrops dripping down your sides, as if tickling you and cleansing you at the same time. And as you see the clouds coming over your top of you, just gliding away, see these clouds as any thoughts, any worries, any issues, any grudges, just passing away, no longer holding on to anything that's holding you back, holding you down. Everything that's negative in you, all your doubts, worries, fears, see them as these clouds passing by and going away from you. And as you stand tall as this beautiful mountain, look up to the beautiful, beautiful sunshine and feel the dark rays of light touching you, heating you, warming you up as if they're giving you a hug. The sun's rays giving you a warm embrace and hugging you, making you feel totally relaxed and happy and warm. The temperature is perfect. You're totally dry. And as you're sitting there as this beautiful mountain, feel the wisp of the winds blowing on you, refreshing you, cooling you down from the heat of the sun. The wind is blowing away anything that's stuck to you, anything that you feel you need to release and let go. It's being blown away by this beautiful wind. With every breath of fresh air on you, you're becoming lighter yet stronger in the same way. Lighter in the sense you're not holding on to any baggage, any bondages, any grudges. It's all being blown away from you by this amazing wind. So the heat from the sun has burned away anything that you didn't want to hold on to. The rain has cleansed you of anything that you no longer need to hold on to, and washed it away down to Mother Earth. And the wind has blown everything away that's been holding you back, making you feel negative or inferior or low in any way. And all these elements are helping you to become your true self, this big, bold, strong mountain, which is totally free, totally light, yet totally strong, with a strong foundation and a good solid connection to Mother Earth, as if Mother Earth is cradling you and holding you and giving you the support that you need. So we're supported by Mother Earth and we're being held by the sky. So the Supreme Divine Conscious Being is looking after us in so many ways. Enjoy this feeling of basking, of being on the beautiful, beautiful land of Mother India. The fresh air, Taking the blossoms of the beautiful perfume, of the beautiful fragrance of all the trees, plants, roses, flowers around you, as if you're a mountain breathing in the fresh air of where you are. And everything that's toxic and negative has all been flushed out away from you. Feel totally, totally at ease, totally, totally purified and cleansed. By being this strong mountain, feel the confidence that you now have to stand up for yourself, to say what you believe in, to be selective of whose company you keep. As we learned in the chapter, stand your own ground, be strong, be firm. Don't get swayed by other people, other company. You yourself can be this beautiful, strong mountain that knows the difference between right and wrong. But at the same time, by letting go of everything, we are forgiving others and not allowing other people's mistakes to hold us back. We've learned to forgive and forget and move forward, and to accept our mistakes and not to make the same mistakes again. How good it feels to be strong like a mountain, big and bold. No one can mess with us because we have the divine light within us. We have Mother Nature cradling us, and we have the sky holding on to us. As you feel this strong mountain, take that feeling with you. And remember that we are truly blessed to be who we are. And the divine resides within us, and is always there to help and support us when we need that help. Now, feeling this amazing mountain, let's show our gratitude. Gratitude to our parents for giving us a firm foundation, for making us big and strong, for nourishing us, giving us the food and nutrients and the comforts of our home, from everything from clothes, shoes, our education, holidays, teachings, everything that our parents and grandparents and ancestors have done for us. Deep, deep gratitude. Deep, deep gratitude to our family and friends for being our pillars of strength and helping and supporting us and helping us realize our mistakes. Deep, deep gratitude to each and every single one of our teachers, our gurus, for showing the true light, for giving us the mirror to look inside, to accept our mistakes, to see where we're going wrong, to help us free ourselves of our burdens and our bondages and attachments. Deep, deep gratitude to our divine gods and goddesses, our Ishtadev, for always being there for us, helping us, supporting us. Deep, deep gratitude to all the 5 elements for nourishing us, supporting us, and being there for us and giving us this life. Deep, deep gratitude to the whole cosmos, mineral kingdom, plant kingdom, animal kingdom, birds and all species. Deep, deep gratitude to every single person in our lives, past, present, future, and for all the things that we have in our lives that we're so, so blessed to have. Deep, deep gratitude to Lord Buddha and Babaji for all their divine teachings and messages that we're receiving on a daily basis. Deep, deep gratitude to Guru Ma for enlightening us and helping us through this amazing book. Deep, deep gratitude to all our scriptures, all our books, and the knowledge that we're receiving that's helping us on our transformation and our journey to reach our soul purpose. Deep, deep gratitude to all the divine masters for all their help and support and for holding on to us and helping us to change and transform on a daily basis. And deep, deep gratitude to you all divine masters for sharing your divine energy with us today and for helping each other to grow and transform. Okay, now gently rub your hands, place them over your beautiful eyes, and gently open your eyes with your hands covered over them and feel the divine light energy coming into you and going all over your beautiful face, ears, head, neck, shoulders, arms, stomach, chest, legs, knees, feet, and anywhere that you feel you need extra warmth, extra healing. And feel totally, totally ease and full of joy and bliss. Thank you, thank you. Thank you, Babaji, Lord Buddha, Guru Ma, and all the divine masters.
Thank you so much for such a wonderful session and for wonderful meditation. It's very amazing meditation and chapter is because it's Guru is teaching us, Anna. So the way Guru Ma is explaining things is so nice, so beautiful that how we have to be very, I think, uh, our perspective regarding the things is we judge the things a lot. We won't understand the things, means like with the Buddha one. In this book, as Guru Ma mentioned, that the girl asks for the question, a guru knows from what perspective I'm asking that question, but other people were against that person, not thinking the way that person is thinking, because they are not enlightened. And when you are not enlightened, you are thinking that it is kind of a personal attack or something. That how that other people feel that it is very disrespectful. And uh, so many beautiful things we are learning, and through this book. And um sorry, meanwhile my son called and I distracted. I forget what I have to say that time. So you can share your opinion. Meanwhile, I will recall my things which I have to share. Yes.
I think my key takeaway from this chapter, I must say this chapter was quite deep in terms of the key lessons that Buddha Bhagwan's trying to teach us through Guru Ma. Some of them, for example, the key learnings I felt was like mistakes. Like it's okay to make a mistake once, but you need to break the pattern and not keep carrying on doing the same mistake again and again. Because until you break that pattern, you're going to come back into this 84,000 cycle of births and deaths. So it's having that knowledge and wisdom, knowing when you are still making the same mistakes again and again. So that to me, I think is quite difficult to know where your mistakes are. And the fact
Yeah.
that to be able to forgive others, you're actually helping yourself. Because like I think the example of the thorns, if you go into an area with thorns, that's all you're going to get. So we need to release and let go of our grudges and still treat people with love and kindness, which I think is quite difficult. It seems like it's easy.
Actually, no, it is. It is like you are seeing your own reflection, Anna. You're seeing your own reflection, that why you're not accepting someone. Why? Means if we say, we even did the unified course, if I unify with everyone, there will be no hate and no grudges for anyone. I, s- I accept everyone as it is, because their mindset is different, their upbringing is different, their environment is different, their way of solving thing is different than mine. Even our five fingers are not the same. And means in the entire world, see how beautifully God created all of us, that our fingerprints never match with one another. So we all are unique, right? So if I am unique, the other person is also unique. Whatever that person have, I have to respect that. I have to respect that. Maybe it is like, everyone is right in their own place, because according to their knowledge, their experience, they think that way. For them, that is the solution. Like Lord Buddha knows about that girl, what she is asking. But other people, because they all are from the same area, their mindset is the similar. One of my guru, my previous guru, was sharing this beautiful quote with us all the time, that there are different places. One frog is living in the well, and another one is in the ocean. The well one was like, they accidentally met with each other, and they were sharing, the life of a well and life of an ocean. That person say that frog is saying that, the walls are there very protected, like, and so high, and I enjoy being there. I don't have to go anywhere, like, means that frog's world, right? But the frog came from the ocean. He said, how you be happy in a certain place, right? He said, means I travel around here, I go here and there. There is no limit. There is no boundaries around the water. It is open. You can go to anywhere, anytime. And the water is very fresh. The taste is different. And whereas this one says, because that frog is in a well, the well is covered and it's small area, so the water is not fresh. It is the already stored water, like during the rain, they were preserving the water. And for that frog, it is very hard to accept this reality, because that frog never experienced it. But the other frog, because that frog is in an open environment, it is like open minded, he accepted it. But he tried to break his pattern by telling him, like, look, because this is your world, so you are thinking what is existing here doesn't exist in another part of the world. But there are so many countries in the world, there are so many cultures, so many languages in the world. And means in your whole life, how many countries, even if you visited few of them, you still don't know about other countries, their culture, until and unless you've been there, right? So everyone's perspective is different, but we have to accept them as it is. um, Personally, I believe, learn good things from them. If someone is pointing out, it means that thing needs some focus. Means if like the girl knows the question is right, Buddha knows the question is right, but because these people are unaware, when they decoded it, they understood from where she is coming, right? uh, and it depends on people also. Means no one is right and wrong, but the thing is, it's your own thing, that how you take the things. um, for one person, like if you go for recently I give someone this example. The person was asking me, I'm doing certain thing, Monica ji, is it right or wrong? I says, look, nothing is right and wrong. If you cook a food at home and you order the same food from outside, only the chef is different, only the person who is making the food is different, and the ingredients may be here and there little bit, right? And other thing is their expertism in that field. If they are, if that person is a chef, means that person is holding a higher knowledge about that thing. Yeah. And they can use the things, ingredients which can enhance the taste of the food. And whereas in home we are normally using the normal, ingredients, we won't go for extra things. That's why sometimes we like to go out to have food outside, because we know that the taste is little bit different than what I'm cooking at home. So so many things, when you means Guru Ma make it so simple, and the way she is explaining the things, it touch your soul, that how people think, how people behave. She mentioned that while she was traveling, the person put the alcohol there, and people, yeah, this thing happened. When you're with the wrong people, people think you are the same. Sometimes we don't have option, and even with the other men, whatever you mentioned, that they've been to the different places, and by not their own choice, by just yeah, just to give company to their friends, and later on the result was so bad that the man caught by his father-in-law, and the father-in-law make that image. Sometimes these things happen with us. When people see you with the wrong people, they make that assumption you are the same person, that's why you're hanging with that person. But understand this thing, sometime I might be there to help that person, support that person. Maybe that person needs my help. It doesn't mean that helping someone that I'm the same person, right? And since from your childhood till now, even if you think about your friends, very few of your friends are still in your touch. We have new friends, we are not the same person anymore. And and also from these example, one more thing came in my mind. Like the wife, she knows that the husband won't drink, right? But she still said that, like, means you have a trust issue. You have a trust issue. A person is in front of you, because a normal person behave little bit different than a drunk person. There is a little bit difference you can identify, right? And how can you means if I personally believe, if I won't trust myself, I can't trust anyone else. If you trust yourself, if you respect yourself, you will respect other people's not only opinion, you will respect the way someone likes some things. Some people have their, we all have our own choices. Even if someone tell me don't do meditation, I might be like, hi, hello, no, can't possible, because I love doing meditation, right? So there are some good and bad addiction, but up to what limit you are in, like even with the meditation also, if we won't become egoistic, if we are in a selfless service, what I learned, I let me share with the world, someone will get benefit. It is not like someone will steal something, right? Like Guru Maharaj said, mentioned that sometimes there are 80 people, there sometimes there are 1,000 people. That is just a mindset. It doesn't mean that other people are not aware of this. Maybe they are better than those who are attending there. Maybe though the people who are attending there physically are there, but mentally somewhere else. Means if you think beyond this physical means mind barrier, you will think like, oh yeah, actually, so many times we go outside to do something, and we are lost in something, thinking about something else. Yeah. You muted yourself, and sometimes the weather is not nice. Suddenly it's raining, sometimes suddenly it's windy. We start complaining about it rather than enjoying it.
Mm. So mentally, you're not there. Physically, you might be there. Mentally, you're not there.
No,
And the
you are not
importance of
accepting,
company.
it is my clothes are becoming dirty, wet. You are not going with this flow, that water, if it is part of weather, it plays some role. So
Mm.
I have to appreciate wind. Air, it's very important, otherwise we
mm,
can't breathe.
mm,
And the plants, tree, water, it is a circle going
mm,
on, and
mm,
if we interrupt that circle, the humanity means won't survive for a long time. But
mm,
we won't think that way. We think
mm,
what is beneficial for me.
mm.
So deep, Anna. These means book is so deep.
I love this chapter, honestly. I feel this was a key chapter that I feel I need to read it again just to absorb what I've actually
I
just
love
read.
the what is the topic? Sorry to disturb you, because before I forget again, the topic I would like flying something.
Fly
What
High in the Sky. I think
how
that was the
fly?
title,
Yeah,
Fly High in the Sky.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah. So fly
Fly
high
High
in
in the
the
Sky.
sky. Yeah, like a bird, right?
Mm, mm,
Like a bird, like
mm,
a bird is
mm,
not in a fear when the
mm,
bird is flying in the sky. Bird don't know the destination, but flying. And he is flying to make his way and fighting with the wind
mm,
while flying.
mm.
So means
So wind could
very,
be obstacles. We're going to
yeah.
face challenges, obstacles, but we need to focus and know what's right and wrong for us and how our behavior and thoughts are. It's almost like the inner tuning that we need to be constantly mindful of.
Yeah, and that's why
Otherwise,
the word is like wings, like doesn't matter, don't stop, just go with the flow.
mm,
Let explore new things, go think beyond this physical, and think good about others.
mm,
You will, if you want to feel good, think good about others.
yeah,
Don't
because
judge
you're not in
anything.
their shoes, so you don't know what's going on emotionally, mentally, physically, the turmoil that they're going under. You can't be that, see that. So anything they say and do, you interpret it as negative, but actually, you don't know what's simmering
They
inside
didn't
them.
do. Yeah, yeah. And we all go through the different phase of our life. So many time, if in our childhood we saw that our parents are struggling but still providing us everything, right?
Mm, mm,
Giving us books, good clothes, everything they are providing us, but still we were complaining about them, Mana.
mm,
And
mm,
the same thing when happened with us, now we understand.
mm,
Now we understand because now I have the same experience like them.
mm.
Today I was watching a video that was like, very funny one, where this person was saying, we were always complaining why my mom was shouting in my childhood. She said, because now my kids are fighting and I'm getting frustrated. My kids are fighting. Now I'm getting frustrated. Now it reminds me of my childhood when we were doing the same thing. We were making our mother
Mm.
frustrated. She might try to calm us down. She was trying to, diffuse the situation, but we were keep coming back with the same problems. Means if you are a learner, you can learn from anything. But if your mind is so much distractive, you will find fault in every single thing. You will never be satisfied with yourself or with anyone. I personally believe.
And
Be happy with what you have.
I think also through looking at Lord Buddha, it's almost like although we're entangled in this web of Maya, where we are living as we are, it's almost like you've got to see yourself detached and take yourself out of that situation to be not be affected. So I think that's a key teaching.
Yeah, he have all the luxury. He left the luxury and he made this choice, right? And most of the people, their entire life, they were looking for the happiness in outer things. Like if I go and buy something, it make me happy. That is temporary happiness. What if you are satisfied with yourself? If you are internally happy, you don't need to go outside that someone will make you happy because you are happy within yourself. So wherever you go, you will make other people happy. That we say that, some people's aura is like the moment that person come, everyone, oh wow, that person is so energetic, the aura is amazing. This person is very lively. uh, why? Because that person love themselves. They know how that the happiness they are finding outside is within them. They don't have to chase it. They don't have to run behind the thing. They have to be in a state of mind just to show gratitude. Thank you. At least I have this. Look, like right now means what happened is in back home, like flood, right? Now we understand the value of a roof on our head, value of cloth, value of food, value of every single thing. People lost their lives, people lost their loved one, people lost their food, means entire home, their job, everything. They don't know how they will survive, right? But from these incidents, your mind, like, nothing is permanent, first of all. And acceptance is the only thing in these kind of situations. Just accepting things with open heart. And thanks to all our gurus, they gave us that strength and faith that just go with the flow, accept it. There were few people who were laughing and dancing even in this situation. And some people make the comments like these people are mad, they are in the flood area. They said whatever happened has happened for a reason. it you are alive, celebrate it. You are alive, these things you can build again. But if you lost your own self, you won't come back to this earth. So there are so many beautiful things which we learn from our gurus, from the things happening around us. It also shows how humanity um, touch your core, standing for each other, loving each other unconditionally without expecting anything, with detachment also, to bring the balance. I can bring the balance only by detaching myself and by selfless service, where there is no need of exchange of something. Just give if you have, and with a pure heart, with a good attention, though, so that um, if you think no one is watching, universe is watching, keeping a very close eye on your karma, what you are doing. And the more we go with the what our gurus are teaching us, it is changing our life. And with these example also, guru is telling us, be mindful of your surroundings, be mindful of the activities you are doing in your life, focus more on improving yourself with every single breath, not with every single day, with every single breath. Because I don't know, right now I'm sitting here, next time where I'm sitting, with whom I'm hanging. So be mindful about your surrounding, your eating, whatever you're doing, please be mindful. So thank you so much for choosing this book.
Deep, deep gratitude. Thank you so much. I can't thank you enough,
Thank
Monagaji.
you.
I love these sessions, honestly. I can't believe we're coming to the end nearly. Next week it'll probably be wrapped up, but this is
Mhm.
onward and upwards, and
Mhm.
to me, this is like helping me to the core personally.
Mhm.
I've got a long, long way to go, but I feel gradually these few steps are going to take me in the right direction. So deep, deep gratitude for inspiring me and attending all these sessions on a daily basis. And hats off to you and everybody in the session. Deep, deep gratitude. Have
Thank
a
you.
lovely
Thank you.
evening, and we'll catch up again same time tomorrow.
Thank you.
Good night.
Good night.